Welcome everyone to another episode of the Camper Report. In this episode, we cover just everything that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch talked about in their opening press conference for the opening day of training camp. So it should be a very exciting episode. Stay tuned for it, and we'll be breaking it down here. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Camper Report. A lot to talk. Well, I mean, a lot to break down from Kyle Shanahan's and John Lynch's press conference. I'm a little bit late. Forgive me for that. And again, we don't have a guest on today, and I was trying to get a few guests on this week, but it's a busy time for everyone because obviously a lot of people have jobs. And so it's a busy time for everyone. Obviously, training camp just started, but next week we will for sure have at least one or two guests on there trying to get a roundtable together. So definitely, it should be a lot of fun next week. So just stay tuned. But I just wanted to quickly come on here and speak my mind since I haven't given you guys a lot of content the last 2 weeks. So again, there's some people in the chat already. Thank you, everyone. Kimberly, I don't, Ani, whatever, however you say that. Hi, let's go Niners fans for life. Yep, for sure. But okay, so let's talk about Carcass is in here too. Let's talk about Trey. Let's talk about Trey Lance. That's the first thing that I think everyone, and obviously there's a lot of people that have already talked about this, but Kyle Shanahan coming out and saying Trey's our guy and basically saying him the starter. We're moving on from Jimmy, whatever. I kind of got the vibe, and I think we all got the vibe that the 49ers are not going to cut Jimmy Garoppolo, which is an interesting thing because like that was a lot of speculation. Now, I think we all kind of knew he wasn't going to get cut, but there was speculation that maybe the 49ers, if they couldn't find a partner by, training camp, they would cut him. So there was speculation. That got cleared up. I don't think he's getting cut, which begs to, like, which kind of has me thinking, like, do you think, and this is what I want to ask you guys, is like, do you think they keep him if they can't find a trade partner throughout the season? Do you think they keep him through week one and through the season? And I honestly think if they can't find a trade partner, then yes, they do. I think they were giving off the vibes of we are never going to cut him. And yeah, so during that press, that was interesting. But good thing to see that Trey Lance is going to now be the starter. That is a great sign. And I love it. It's a long awaited journey. And the thing is 49ers football is only like 2.5 weeks away. So that should be exciting too. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is they said that there should be a deal done with DeForest. And that's interesting because obviously there's always been speculation. Should we cut him, or like, will they cut him? Will they, what will he retire? And the thing is now they said there should be a deal done. So either he's getting cut or he's, and the big takeaway, I think we all expected it, but this should have been done last week and last year, in my opinion. I don't know why it took them years and years to move on from DeForest. But I mean, that's a good thing as well. So things are trending in good directions. But so those are two big things that I got away from that. And then Mike McGlinchey and Javon Kinlaw. That's another one that they said that they're not going to practice fully yet. And that's kind of what happened with Nick Bosa last year when he came off of his injury. No practices. Well, like Nick Bosa didn't practice. So, or like he didn't really practice in full participation last year. So I don't know. It's smart because if you throw them in there right away into the fire, then that's not good. That can't be good. So that's smart. And again, we need both of those guys to perform because I'm about to lay out for you. I'm gonna basically predict the whole 49ers defensive roster because I was gonna do this last week with 49ers first takes. Never got to it, and still training camp really hasn't started yet, so nothing's really changed in my opinion. So let me just lay out for you guys. Those are some news. Trey Lance for sure the starter, whether Jimmy Garoppolo is on the roster or not. That's great news to me, I think. And it's really nice to see how Kyle Shanahan is starting to back Trey Lance up. All the players backing Trey Lance up. It is really good to see everyone having his back. I think he's really won over the team with his leadership and the things that he's done in the offseason. It's incredible to see. It's a great sign because now you're dealing with leading quarterback that will lead a whole team. So it's great to see Kyle Shanahan backing him up, really supporting him and being a supportive coach. So good to see there. But anyways, let's get to the next one. I want to keep this short and sweet. Projecting the defense, basically. Who's going to make the team? Again, I've expressed this many times, and I've gone on other shows and expressed. I think the 49ers are going to bring up 12 defensive linemen. Now, the new guy that we signed like last week or today, I think it was official, but Kim Diche. I don't know if he's making the team. I've expressed that I think he could make the team because he's a first-round pick, and the 49ers love to give those guys second chances. So, I mean, maybe Kim Diche makes the team. But for right now, let's start with D tackles. I think it's Eric Armstead, no doubt about it. I think Kevin Givens, you kind of have to put in there just because I feel like I don't know. He's been with this team for a while. He made the team last year. Here's where I think Kim Diche, I think they keep 5 defensive line or defensive tackles. Now, maybe they keep 6 defensive ends and 6 defensive tackles, and they put Kim Diche on there. But I think Kim Diche either takes Maurice Hurst's spot, or they just only keep 6 defensive ends. But I want to see them keep guys like Jordan Willis. That's why I'm saying 7 defensive ends, which could be maybe they keep Kim Diche instead. So, and honestly, they kind of need Kim Diche, and that's why maybe they keep 6 defensive tackles and 6 defensive ends, because if they keep Kim Diche, like they need depth at that middle position. So I do think there's a good possibility that they do. So Eric Armstead, Kevin Givens, Maurice Hurst, and the thing with Maurice Hurst gets injured a lot. So I don't know. You're gonna need a backup plan for him. Hassan Ridgeway and Javon Kinlaw. Now you're looking at 2 of those guys, Maurice Hurst, Javon Kinlaw, and Hassan Ridgeway all have injury problems. So that's why I think they brought in Kim Diche, just because those are 4 guys right there who have all, or 3 guys right there who have all had problems with injuries. So yeah, I could definitely see them keeping Kim Diche as a sixth person. And then defensive ends, Nick Bosa, Samson Ebicom, Charles Omenihu. I think Charles Omenihu, there was a talk about him not making the roster like earlier on. Like, I don't know. I think I think that's a solidified spot. I think the talent that he has, you really can't mess up on it. And they traded for him. Like, they're not going to just cut a guy that they traded for last year. And I think enough teams would be interested in a guy like Omenihu to keep him. I think he's going to have a big year this year. I really do. Kamiko Toure, Drake Jackson, and Kerry Hyder. I think Jordan Willis is the odd man out. Now, a lot of people saying, like, I think he's going to make the team over Kamiko Toure because of special teams. That is true. But if you're looking for a run stopping, and this is the thing, like, I think Jordan Willis is a good run stopping defensive end because he's big. But if you look at Kamiko Toure's film, he's actually not a bad run stopping defensive end either. He has some power, because he has lengthy arms, so he has length, and a little bit of power, and he does his job on the edge. Now, sometimes you'll see him get pushed around with run blocking, but he actually has, like, for his size, well, and he has quite a bit of height, because I'll look it up right now. I'm looking at Toure. Kamiko Toure. I'm pretty sure he has the height as well. Kamiko Toure height. 6'5". So he's a lengthy defensive end. Like, actually, he might be the same size as Jordan Willis. So I think actually they keep Toure. I don't know. I don't know if I don't think Jordan Willis makes it to the practice squad. Oh well, it's just the way life goes sometimes. So anyways, I think 60. Now that they signed Kim Diche, yes, I do think they keep 6 defensive tackles. I think they need them for, just because I'm looking at, like, I was thinking, okay, 5 defensive tackles is fine. But now that I'm looking at the depth and the amount, like 3 of those defensive tackles, Maurice Hurst, Hassan Ridgeway, Javon Kinlaw, all get injured, or all have injury problems. So you're going to need the depth. So that's the defensive line. Let me know what you guys think on that. And then corners. Let's move to corners. I think, okay, so obviously they already today, that's another thing they expressed. Jason Verrett, no surprise there, PUP list. And I'm not sure if PUP list still means, I think it still means that you have to have them make the roster. So I'm not, maybe they keep an extra guy, but for right now, I've got Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley. I think those are 2 solidified, obviously. Ambry Thomas, I don't think I think he's safe as well. Sam Womack, Dante Johnson, and then I'm saying Jason Verrett, but since he's PUP, they're probably going to have to bring another guy up. In that case, it's probably Darquez Denard. I don't think Lenoir makes the roster. I think they're probably going to stash him on the practice squad. I think they're going to be able to stash him on the practice squad. I don't think he showed enough last year for any team to say, whoa, like, look at that guy. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I'm not really sure if he showed enough last year for people to be like, yo, this guy's really good. So I'm saying no to Demondor Lenoir. I'm saying he does not make it to the roster. And it's just the way, and it's good because this team, if you're looking at it last year, what were our corners? Like Emmanuel Mosley, Ambry Thomas, Jason Verrett, who got injured. No, sorry. Jason Verrett he was injured. Jason Verrett. So Emmanuel Mosley, Ambry Thomas, Josh Norman, and then not counting. So Emmanuel Mosley, Ambry Thomas, Josh Norman, Lenoir. So we've got, and obviously K1 Williams. We've gotten significantly deeper. And this was all the things that 49ers fans were screaming for last year. Like, we were screaming for cornerback position needs to get deeper. It's gotten significantly deeper. So, and the thing that I took away from this and going back to like positions that we have concerns about, Kyle Shanahan in his press conference. Now, obviously, he's supposed to say this, but he had a lot of confidence in his offensive line, which you're supposed to. And he said we have a lot of rookies this year and last year that are going to be that we have confidence in. So it's making me sound like last year they redshirted a lot of rookies. This year it's making me sound like they're not going to do that. They're going to throw them in. They're in the fire. So it's giving me a little bit more confidence that this team offensive line might not be that bad. But that's one thing that I'm looking for. Like if we're naming the positions groups that I'm looking forward to the most, offensive line definitely. Offensive and defensive line. Offensive line, I want to see who stands out, and I want to see if they get bullied by the defensive line, which I think they will. But I want to see what happens there. That's my most exciting position group. So yeah, those are my corners. And then linebackers, I think it's going to be the simple 3, Dre Greenlaw, Al Shire, Fred Warner. And then you could see the guy that they got from the Packers making it as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty simple. That's their starting 3. Hold on, what's his name? His name, Oren Burks. Yeah, so Oren Burks, you could see, yeah, I think that's going to be their 4. And then if they had to keep another one, it would probably for the special teams, it would be. But I think Oren Burks is going to be a good special teams guy, and then Demetrius Flanagan Foles would probably be the next guy up. And I'm obviously Samson Ebicom. I think they're going to keep him as a defensive end, not a because he is labeled as a linebacker, but and so anyways, that's my linebacker. And then safety, it's gonna be Jimmy Ward, it's gonna be Talanoa Funga, it's gonna be who is it? It is going to be, I think Womack, to answer your question, Womack's gonna be, I think he's gonna slide into that corner position. Let's see here, because I'm safeties. I think Womack's, he is probably one of my most valued players, if I had to guess, on that defensive end. But yeah, Tarvarius Moore, that's going to be an interesting battle as well. Who gets that spot? If Tarvarius Moore, because Tarvarius Moore was decent. If Tarvarius Moore, that's going to be an interesting battle to look for as well in training camp. Tarvarius Moore versus Leon O'Neal Jr. I think that's going to be one of those positions where, maybe you see Leon O'Neal Jr. If Tarvarius Moore doesn't bounce back from his injury last year, you could see Leon O'Neal sliding in for that 4th position there. Another thing is, I think Womack starts week 1, but I do think Jason Verrett, when he comes back, will actually have a say in that nickel corner position. I could see Jason Verrett. So I don't know when he's coming back from the PUP list, but when he does, maybe they start him at nickel. Womack becomes a backup, which I would be fine with that. The thing that I really like about Womack is if you look at his film, he's fast, he's fluid. That's something that we have not had. We've not had. Also, we haven't had. He's also a hard hitter. We really haven't had a fast and fluid coverage guy for a long time. K1 was more of a zone guy that just had to sit in the zone. He didn't really have to do a lot of man-to-man coverage. And he wasn't really Womack, huge wingspan. I think it's close to 7 foot. So lengthy guy, fast, fluid in coverage. Go look at his film. I'm super impressed by Womack, so I think that's going to be a big guy as well. So that's the defense. I think that's what I've covered on the defense. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I'll have a guest next week. I'll try to have a guest next week. I wanted to come on this week because I haven't made content in like 2 weeks, really, like full content. So, but yeah, those are some takeaways from the press conference. Interesting. Tomorrow is the first, I think, full day of training camp, and then maybe I'll do something on Saturday, try to get somebody on. So I'll be back again soon, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And 49ers football, first preseason game. So excited. 2.5 weeks away versus the Packers. So we'll see you guys again soon, and have a good one, everyone.